Hey guys, it's Cece and welcome to a reading vlog. This is gonna be a weird time because this is gonna be the first time I've ever done a reading vlog that's solely dedicated to one book. I just, for some reason, have never done one of these, despite the fact that I have many thoughts when I'm reading a book, and I can only contain some of them in a wrap-up at the end of the month. So it feels like this should be a format I am doing more often, and perhaps if you all like this vlog, I will do this more often. The point of this vlog is to read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is one of my very anticipated books of the year. I would say my second most anticipated book of the entire year, and this is the book that my patrons picked for me to read in the month of April. So this is also like a treat for patrons. You guys picked this book and now you guys get to hear like my day-to-day, hour-to-hour thoughts as I read Daisy Jones. This does end up being a format that everybody likes, and I continue on doing like solo reading vlogs. I will probably do them for the patron chosen book every single month, so whichever book that patrons pick for me to read, I will dedicate a solo reading vlog to that book. But I'm very excited for this one. It's about 350 pages, which I think is around the length of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and despite the fact that Evelyn Hugo was like a piece of literary historical fiction, that kind of thing, it didn't take me that long to read. I read little bits and pieces of it at the beginning, and then I read the last half all in one sitting, and I'm assuming something similar is going to happen with this book because I've been anticipating it so highly, and because it is also by Taylor Jenkins Reid. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I pre-ordered this book in March, didn't get the chance to read it until now, and now I'm beginning the book, and you will hear more of my minute-to-minute thoughts on this book as I get through it. Okay, so this isn't really split up by chapters, it's more kind of split up by sections, so I'm probably just gonna let you know like page numbers as I'm reading this, and also say that this is gonna be like a spoilery vlog. I'm gonna be talking about spoilers, and this isn't like spoilery yet. I'm on page 43, so I finished the first two sections, which it's just the introduction of Daisy is the first section, and then the introduction of the Six is the second section. So that's all I've read so far. I so far have liked the stuff with the Six a little bit more than I liked the chapter with Daisy and Simone. Maybe it's just because there are more characters going on in the second section, and I also really like Karen and Camila, so like that's influencing me. Hi. But yeah, I'm liking the stuff with the band a lot more, and I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like when everyone crosses paths. I'm also loving the setting. It's very late 60s, early 70s, which is a time period I really like at least movies about. I haven't read as many books in that time period, but I love that time period for stories, so I'm really liking that as well. And it's so funny because this is the only other Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I will have read, and both of them are about fictional famous people, so I don't know what I'm gonna do when I read one of her books that's not about a fictional famous person. Like, I feel like now that I'm reading this, I'm just going to adjust to the kind of stuff that she writes, and when I try to read, what do I have, Maybe in Another Life by her, it's gonna be weird, because it's not gonna be like about a famous person, a fake famous person. Ow. Claw into the thigh. I've already got my post-it notes out. You can't even see those. There are like 3 so far, 3 little post-it notes. They have all been women saying things. Like I have 2 quotes, I think, from Karen, right? Leia, are you kidding me? Stop that. She's turning my camera like a little baby. Yeah, 2 quotes from Karen and 1 quote from Daisy, and they're all 3 of them are about being a woman and being famous and being creative, so I think that's gonna be a theme. But I'm gonna run out. We have to get some stuff for dinner and run to Barnes & Noble, and I am out of sticky notes basically for the things I need them for. My green and yellow are the colors I use for just general quotes I love, and I have a couple of yellow left and no green. And only 1 orange. Orange is for laughing. So hopefully when we're out getting groceries, I can also get some new sticky notes as I continue forward in this book. There. Oh yeah. So I'm on page 72 of Daisy Jones and the Six. And I think I'm in section 4. I'm in the middle of a section on the Six. They still haven't met yet. The paths still haven't crossed. And I'm still liking those sections more than Daisy Jones. Maybe it's just because I'm not seeing as much of Daisy. Like, those sections are a lot shorter than the stuff with the band. And that's not necessarily a problem, but it is called Daisy Jones and the Six. So, like, I wish I knew more about Daisy Jones. And it seems like everyone loves Daisy. So, you know, I'm excited to learn more with time, but right now I'm not really feeling it. I am, however, adoring the bits with this band, and in particular, a person who is not even a member of the band, Camila. I would die for her. That's what I've decided here and now on page 72. I would die for Camila. Like, this woman who has gone through so much, and her husband is treating her like shit, and yet she is still being the best. And I love her, and I love Karen also. Karen's the best. And I'm starting to get what people said about being sad that you can't actually listen to these songs, because I'm getting sad about that. And I keep listening to instrumental Fleetwood Mac songs to set the mood while I'm reading, because this is so very Fleetwood Mac. And I love Fleetwood Mac, so, you know, like, that tracks. But yeah, the point is, I'm mad at Billy. I stan Camila and Karen. I'm working on liking Daisy. I still appreciate, like, Daisy's rage. We all know I'm in it for an angry girl. Like, I would give it all up for an angry girl. And I got new sticky notes, but they didn't have one with orange, so I have purple, and that is upsetting to me. I don't know how many people even remember my system for sticky notes. Orange is usually, like, my made me laugh, made me smile color, and they didn't have orange sticky tabs. Why Target? Why? Look what I have to deal with now. Like, I'm fine with it. It's not that big a deal, and I forget to tab so often that, like, ultimately, what is the big deal? I haven't tabbed a book in a very long time, but I don't know. I'm already tabbing this one a lot. I got a lot of stuff marked. Oh my god, Leia. Can you see it anymore now? Still no? Still not far enough in for it to matter? Stop it. Stop it. So it's like almost 3 in the morning. Oops. But I kind of want to keep reading. Here's the thing with this book is that, like, feels very realistic. It's captured. I was worried about this format at first. I wasn't sure if I was going to like just sort of the interview format of just having characters' names and describing a past, but it's got me. It's got me already, and it feels like I'm reading about a real band. It feels like I'm reading about a real history about these people, and so I'm getting invested really quickly because they're described so well. They exist. They already exist. I'm gonna read a little bit more. Maybe I'll finish this section on the Six, and then I'll go to sleep, and I'll try to read a lot more tomorrow. Although tomorrow I'm filming stuff with Brian, and my sister and my friend are coming over to, like, play games and stuff, so I don't know if I'll have as much time to read, but, like, I want to read. Forever and always, the star of my heart and the star of every vlog I make. I think you have to have faith in people before they earn it. Otherwise, it's not faith, right? Like, Camila, we stan this goddess. No one deserves her. Okay, it's been a couple of days, but I am farther into this book. I just hit page 99, so I'm on the Numbers tour, which is the tour right after the release of the second album, 789, which means that Daisy and the Six have officially met now. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with Daisy. Like, she's written to be a character that I feel like I should like, but maybe it's the fact that the book is trying so hard to convince me that I should like her that's making her harder to like, personally. Like, just her constant nature of being so self-assured and always kind of knowing what she wants and getting what she wants. And usually I like that type of character, but it just feels it doesn't feel as carved out as some of these other women in this book. Like, I keep wanting to know more about Karen. I keep wanting to know more about Camila, and maybe that's gonna change now that Daisy's actually involved with the Six, now that she actually has to, like, fight other creative voices to get her own vision involved. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I still don't really like Billy, but Billy's kind of an asshole, so I'm assuming that's not the goal. And like, liking any of these people without question is going to be an issue because they're supposed to be real people with real complex personalities and flaws, and that is exactly what I like. Like, the thing is, what I liked about The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is that both of the main characters were inherently deeply flawed. Like, Evelyn Hugo was sure of herself, but she'd fucked up for decades, and you kind of just have to accept that, and she's had to kind of accept that, and she has to acknowledge all of the times that she did the wrong thing, and the same goes for Monique. The more that she admires Evelyn and emulates Evelyn, and then has to learn to decide if she's going to hate those elements of herself that she's gained because she's become more like this person who has made so many poor decisions. And I feel like right now with Daisy, I'm just missing that nuance. And I feel like it's nuance that I'm seeing in every other character. So that's not great 100 pages in. It's not that I hate her, it's just that I don't love her. I'm just sort of middling about her. But now that we're getting to the tour stuff, and more creative decisions are going to be happening, and it's going to be more everybody together, now I'm more curious. I've been trying to decide in the world of the book, like, how these interviews are supposed to work. Like, so everyone is separate, and I wish there was a bit more where they were together, although I do like the elements of the book where people are clearly contradicting one another and clearly contradicting one another's memories, because it puts this very unreliable narrator spin on everything, which is another thing I liked about Evelyn Hugo. I liked that everything was from Evelyn's perspective, so you could never be sure what was true and what wasn't. So yeah, I like that, but I want to know more and more how all of these people feel about one another now, and I feel like I'm not getting that vibe yet. Like, I don't know if Billy still doesn't like Daisy. It seems like he doesn't, but yeah, that's gonna be stuff to come. It's just like how I'm feeling at this current moment. And now I'm gonna go read more about this tour, and then tonight I'm gonna go watch the new episode of Game of Thrones. The premiere. I'm so nervous. Oh my god. Hello, my lovely friends. It is Monday. I only read a tiny bit yesterday, which I believe I updated you on. But now is the beginning of 4 days of me being alone, which is gonna be weird. Brian is at a work conference from today until Thursday afternoon or evening, so it's just gonna be me. But my goal is to potentially read this entire book today. I am officially on page 107, so I'm pretty sure I updated you fairly recently that we're on the bit now where they're on tour. I think the timeline is that we're near mid-70s, I think 76-ish, and that is where we're picking up, and I'm gonna sit here and try to read as much as I can, but I have today to myself, I have tomorrow to myself, Wednesday to myself, and most of Thursday to myself, so the goal is to read as much as possible, and this vlog is still just gonna be dedicated to Daisy Jones, but once I finish this, I'm going to start a new vlog that's gonna be like a weekly-ish vlog of me being home alone. Thursday there's a library book sale that I'm going to go to, and then Friday and Saturday are FanX. So that should be the next vlog that I have up. And on FanX days, I'm meeting Billy Piper one day, and I'm meeting Clark Gregg one day. So, gonna be some cool stuff in there. And maybe if I get this vlog going soon enough, you'll be able to see more of, like, me putting together some of my cosplays that are going to be happening this weekend. But that's another vlog. For now, I'm just gonna sit here and read more of Daisy Jones and the Six. I feel like I just finally had my A Star is Born moment in this book, which, obviously, this book is Fleetwood Mac, and I get that, but they just played their first concert where, Daisy's band has left, because she dumped her manager that she was sleeping with, and they just kind of had to do the whole show by the seat of their pants. And Billy walks out, and they do the acoustic thing of Honeycomb, and it was so shallow to me. Not like shallow That was a weird way to phrase things. It was like Shallow from A Star Is Born. It was like that first performance in A Star Is Born when he brings Lady Gaga out on stage and they just kind of have to go with it and create this song that they kind of wrote, and it was good. It was good. I like Daisy a little bit more after reading this section. A little bit more after reading about the portion with Hank, and she had this really great paragraph about, and Hank gets up in her face, and Daisy has this moment where she thinks about every bad decision that she's ever made that could lead to a moment when a man gets up in your face and he's towering over you, and there's that feeling in the pit of your stomach that he's gonna hurt you. And she had this moment where she goes, and I bet men never have to wonder that. I bet men, when they're in that moment screaming at a woman, never think about every situation, every decision they've ever made that led them to being that asshole, but women do. And I don't know, I really fucking liked that. That was like, I was like, whew, Jesus, Daisy. I mean, you're spot on, but God. I'm obviously very worried now about this band, about Eddie and Billy being up in each other's faces. But I don't know, I'm excited now that it seems to be that Daisy's going to be more integral to the band and to the performances. And I'm sure that, I bet we're almost at the end of the tour. And after the tour, we've got to take a break so that Billy's Kids can happen and maybe they can record another album. I think that they've been hinting that Aurora is the next album. But for now, I'm really jiving with everything. And I thought I was gonna hate Graham and Karen sleeping together, and I like that it's just something that no one else knew. Like, some other people knew it, but Warren was like, oh man, Karen definitely slept with the lighting guy. Like, decades later, still no one knows that Graham and Karen were fucking on this tour. I know, I like that element of it a lot more than them just falling for each other and marrying each other, because Karen deserves the world, and she deserves better than every man that's in this band. Okay, I'm gonna take a bit of a break. According to my reading app, it's gonna take me about 2 hours and 15 minutes to finish up, the book. And I think I'm gonna take a break, and I think I'm gonna take a shower. It's late in the evening, but I would like to have a relaxed evening where I feel like nice and relaxed. And I personally think there is no better feeling than getting right out of the shower, putting on your pajamas, and being the coziest version of yourself. It's my favorite way to spend an evening. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. As far as the book, what just happened? The tour is over, then the break is over, and now they're getting back into making music, and Daisy just made her declaration that she wants to have billing, and she wants to be like a creative part of the band, and I am definitely warming up to Daisy a lot more now. I still really like Billy. I don't know if I'm supposed to like Billy, but I mean, I know he's lying. I know that all of Billy's parts are just him lying to make himself seem more reasonable, but I don't know. I still really like him, and I really like how much he loves Camila, because, like, same dude, you should worship the ground she walks on, and he does, and I love that in a man. I love a man who worships a woman who deserves to be worshipped. So I'm a fan of that, and I'm curious to see how this album is going to go, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen after Aurora, because as far as I've been able to see, I've only seen 3 album titles, which is the 6, 7, 8, 9, and Aurora. So I have no idea what's going to happen after that. Those are the only 3 albums that I know about that I feel like the book has informed me exist. So I'm nervous how this writing process is going to go. I'm nervous how everyone's going to do all working together now. But I'm excited, and I'm excited for them to go on tour again, and I'm excited for Daisy to clean up her goddamn act. I am pulling for her. Oh my God. Cora is so sad. Her dad is gone, and she's just kind of barely realizing that it's just me and her in the apartment, and I like totally remade my bed so that she can come in here and stay with me, but she's just wandering around the apartment looking indoors. Cora, come here! Come here! Come up on the bed. Good girl. Hey girl. Hey beautiful. Are you the sweetest? Are you the sweetest doggo in the world? Yeah. I think we're gonna do okay. But I am going to go and shower, and then maybe make dinner, and then maybe watch a movie, and then maybe read more. I think that's gonna be the plan for this evening. Okay, I'm all clean, and I just read a ton more pages. I'm on page 196 now. Here's hoping that doesn't fall off the edge of the couch. This is my favorite section of the book. This entire section that is just about everyone writing this album together. It's making me, like, there's so much longing within me to hear this music, and it's just driving me up the wall that I can't. It's the most vulnerability I've seen from Daisy, so I'm really starting to care about her. It's about understanding more the nuance of Billy and not liking him quite as much, but still loving the passion that he has and the passion he has for his wife, though I'm very, very, very concerned about that and hoping that he doesn't sleep with Daisy, but I feel like that is a naive hope. Like, deep within myself, that feels naive. But this music and this portion of artists being passionate and artists having confidence in themselves and having confidence in the other people around them and coaxing out really great art is, oh, I love it so much. Just the point is that I'm really loving this part, and I just stopped on what is one of my favorite lines so far of the entire book, which is Karen and Daisy just recorded their solo song together, A Hope Like You, which is just Daisy singing and Karen on the piano. And there's this line from Karen, that was a great song to record. I was really proud of it. Just Daisy singing and me on the keys. That's it. Just two bitches playing rock and roll. Ugh. I love them. I love them. And I want them to be friends with Camila, and I want Daisy and Camila and Karen to have the world and take care of Camila's kids together, and I want Daisy to be able to love herself more and get her act together. And I want no one to ever be mean to any of these women ever. And I want no men to fuck anything up, but that seems naive as well. And, like, I know I don't want Daisy to fuck up, but, like, I'm prepared for it. I don't know. I'm feeling many things. I'm feeling many, many things. Well, I'm on page 210. We did it, folks. We got there. They've made the dumb mistake. They've only kissed. I hope that that's where it sits and stays, and I'm assuming things are gonna go poorly after this, because now they've kissed, so now they can never work together again. I don't know, I'm worried. How long is this book? It's got like 350 pages, so I got 150 left, 140 left. I'm worried. I am concerned. Also, this is weirdly making me want to play guitar again. I haven't in forever and a day, which is bizarre, because I own multiple guitars and multiple ukuleles, and I just don't play anymore. I want to, I don't know, the drive is kind of gone, and this is making me want to go back to playing guitar. Maybe that will pass with time, but that's what it's making me think about right now. Listen, I know this is all going to end poorly, but is there anything more iconic than having a man turn you down and going and marrying a prince, you know? Like, that's a level of iconic I could never dream to reach. It's bold, it's stupid, but it's definitely bold. Recording that update is finally what made me realize that our Christmas lights aren't on. I mean, they're not Christmas lights because it's April, but our lights aren't on. I knew something felt off. I'm gonna go turn those back on so I feel more like everything's normal. Oh, Daisy. Oh, Daisy. Oh, Daisy, you hot fucking mess of person. Oh my god. I like that while I'm filming this update, Cora is clearly just like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you I'm talking to a camera. I'm talking to a camera. She doesn't want to perform on command. So I'm in the section with this Rolling Stones interview, and I have just barely read the bit that Daisy told Billy's entire life story to this Rolling Stones reporter. And here's the thing. I think hindsight is important, and so much of this book has been Daisy apologizing for what she was like for all of these stories, and apologizing for the people she hurt, and apologizing for the way that she acted. And I think sometimes that hindsight works, and sometimes you read this and you're like, I can't go out on this limb with you, you know? And there were moments like that in Evelyn Hugo, but it felt like she was accountable. I have a hard time. I have such a hard time with this. As a person who has experience with people dealing with substance abuse and how that substance abuse affects family, I feel like I have very firm rules about what gets shared and what doesn't. And maybe it's just that I think the reason I'm so upset is because this is breaking every one of the rules that I have had to set, like, for myself. Rules that I've had to go through to make sure that people feel protected and safe, because no one is entitled to tell someone else's story. And I think that personal aspect of it is going to make it very hard for me to get over this. It's going to be very difficult for me to forgive this kind of behavior. And maybe that's just me, but that's how I'm feeling right now. So I'm on page 290, and I think I wasn't fair in my last update, because part of understanding substance abuse is understanding substance abusers. And I think I've always had a harder time with that. And I think that I have not been giving Daisy the benefit of the doubt, because I get frustrated. And that is a very personal feeling that I am not going to explore more, and I will probably never explore on this channel because it's too personal for me. But I don't think I was being fair. I don't know. At this point, this book is just getting heartbreaking. They just did SNL. That's where I'm at in terms of story. They just finished doing SNL, and they just finished having this performance where Billy and Daisy both kind of had to admit that they loved each other, and that it was impossible and terrible, and that shit gets me. That shit is exactly what gets me. And I know that I don't have enough pages left for more albums, and I know that I don't have enough pages left for another tour, and I always thought that it was just going to be these 3 albums, so I don't really know what's gonna happen in these next 60 pages, but I'm worried, and I hold everyone close to my heart. And more than anything, I hope that Karen and Simone and Camila make it through unscathed and know that they are all 3 wonderful, wonderful people for the things that they have had to deal with, especially from the people in their lives that they love most. Or I guess in Karen's case, the people in her life that she doesn't necessarily love. And, like, I have hopes for Billy, and I have hopes for Daisy, but it's the people in their lives that care about them that I'm more worried about than the 2 of them at this point. But I think that I'm less angry at the 2 of them than I was. I think now I'm just kind of sad for them. And yeah, I think that that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I think I might just push through and finish this book. It's about 10:30, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch a movie tonight the way I wanted to, but I really wanted to finish this book, so I think that's what I'm gonna focus on doing. Okay, so I decided I wasn't gonna film another update until I finished this, but I guess I need to talk about this now. I am on page 317, or 316, and we've just found out who the author of this book is, basically, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like, at all. I don't know. I feel like the book is going to have to give me some kind of concrete reason for why this person is telling the story, because it seems incredibly odd to me and just a way to insert more feeling in at the end of a book. Like, it feels right now somewhat manipulative to suddenly at the very end be like, oh, this is who they've been talking to this whole time. At the same time, it does sort of answer a question that I had, which is, why would all of these people willingly talk about this? Why would all of these people be so open and agree to this kind of interview? And I guess the only reasonable answer is because they knew the interviewer, and because she had been there for part of the story, and maybe she deserved to know in some way. I haven't read this part of the book yet. I haven't read what Daisy did yet, or what Camila is going to do for her yet, but I'm gonna need a more concrete reason for why Julia is the one telling this story. I probably should have predicted this. The people who read this book who listened to me for the past, like, half hour talking about how much I love Camila. Was this mean? Was this video mean to do? God, there's like some dramatic irony involved. Just watching me march slowly towards my doom. And none of you could warn me. I'm not actually done yet. I just read the last email. And now I need to read all the song lyrics. I don't know if that's the rest of the book, if it's just song lyrics. Or if there's gonna be something else. If it's just song lyrics, I'm glad that the last word was had by Camila, because she deserved them. Now I guess I'm gonna read through the rest of this damn album and see if I can keep it together if there's somehow a song at the end that's about her. Oh god. Well, I'm done. I finished. I guess last shot at what the book looks like. There you go. There are all of the many, many tabs. It wouldn't focus for long, so I hope you got it. So I think the most important thing to note at this moment is that I really, really liked it. I feel like I had a lot of up and down moments, but I also feel like that was kind of the point. Like, this was supposed to be a really messy book, because this is a book about messy people making art and it kind of destroying all of them. And I don't know how this like worked its way under my skin the way it did. It feels weird at like the end of this to reduce how I felt about this book to a star rating, but it feels like you've followed me on my journey of so many feelings of this book that maybe you earned I don't know about earned, but you understand all my feelings because I've shared them as I've read this, that I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5 stars and not a full 5 stars. Usually if I sob at the end of a book, that's a guaranteed 5. But I think my lingering issues with Julia being the narrator weren't fully addressed. I don't know, maybe I would feel different rereading this book, like having that knowledge. And that's something I really like about a book. I like its rereadability for seeing it from a new perspective. But on a first read through, I just felt like the reveal that Julia was the one who was interviewing everybody was kind of, I don't know, a gimmick, like unnecessary, and only put in there to give like a final kind of emotional stake. Oh my god. But to give like a final emotional stake for the reader, and to make the death hit even harder because you're reading from that perspective. And so that is kind of why I took that last half a star off. But overall, I loved this. I loved this for every complicated feeling that I had during it. I loved it for every time I hated a character and then came to understand them, and then judged myself for the times that I hated them and judged myself for the times that I didn't hate them. I liked the thought. I liked the nuance that this book offered, because I think that that is a really special thing to provide in a book. It's why I love Evelyn Hugo so much, and why I really, really need to read more of Taylor Jenkins Reid, like the rest of her books. Because she has this way of writing about a group of people who are sometimes hateful and sometimes wonderful, and the strength of the book is the messy, terrible shit that they do to one another for 300 to 400 pages, and coming to appreciate how difficult it is to write a story like that. And there is so much difficulty involved with the way this book was written. The fact that it was only dialogue is fucking masterful. And I know a lot of people said that I should like read this along with the audiobook, and I feel like I've tried to explain my feelings on audiobooks before, and so yeah, I can't listen to audiobooks. My brain doesn't work that way. My brain doesn't have the attention span for it. But I can understand where an audiobook like this would succeed for people who can consume fiction via audio. It's something I wish I had the ability to do, and I just don't. But reading this book did make me wish that I had that, because this would be a brilliant book to listen to since it's all audio interviews. And I'm assuming they got a full cast. Anyway, I really liked it. I loved it for so many reasons, and hopefully this was a vlog that you all liked. I can dream that this is a vlog that you all liked, even if I'm sure it's probably pretty long. Presumably, if you've made it this far, you have read Daisy Jones and the Six, so please let me know your feelings about the book down in the comments below so that we can chat about it more. And let me know how you felt about this video, this vlog, a dedicated reading experience, because if it's something that people like, I could do it more in the future. I don't exactly know how you would do this kind of video without spoilers, but if that's something people would like, let me know that as well. And maybe from now on, I can read my Patreon books in vlog form every single month. I hope you all enjoyed watching. I hope this was informative and interesting, and I will see you all in another video very soon. Bye!